Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim and it's Friday. We made it. I made it. I'm having a week, but I'm okay. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you are taking care of yourselves. I hope you are not consuming too much news. I hope you're doing things that enrich you and keep you well emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually. Okay. I will be continuing. This is actually part 2 of Turning Point in America and how close we are to the turning point, exploring what kind of turning point we will be experiencing, that sort of thing. If you didn't watch part 1, then please watch part 1. It's pretty interesting, and hopefully we could get some answers. Part 1 was interesting to say the least because, if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? Alright, so there's a lot going on in the news. A lot going on. And a lot of concern. And you see where, more people are starting to recognize, like, oh, okay, this is real. This is real. I had a very interesting dream, by the way, about election fraud and how this website came out discussing the fraud and how it happened and all this stuff, which was interesting. I can't remember the name of the website for some reason. I can't remember, but I don't know if it was a premonition or just, residual from what I've been talking about. Could have been. It was just like, oh, this is the website. It was all this excitement, but it was like a secret or something. I don't know. It was strange. But anyway, I'm just blabbering. Let's get started. Let's just jump right in. Okay. Thank you for those of you who said you enjoy my longer videos. I appreciate that. I won't stop doing longer videos completely. It just won't be as much. Okay, so first question for part 2 is, what direction is America being pulled towards with this turning point? Let's see. Let's see if Spirit can tell me. Can you show me? Oh yeah, watch my Q&A as well if you haven't. Look. Tower. Okay. Question was, what direction is America turning towards in this turning point? And the tower came out. Being pulled towards, rather. Okay, tower is old structures failing, falling, things that no longer work, falling apart. Foundations crumbling. Tower is always there. The tower is always there. That's always the message. When I channeled the tower, that's what it told me, the energy. I'm always here in this situation. The tower falls so something new and better can be built in its place. What I see happening is we're getting little by little sort of slow examples or big examples of how fragile society is right now. all these catalysts, all these events culminating to this old structure falling, or belief systems, ideas, things that just don't work anymore. So something new and better could be built. What direction is America being pulled towards in this turning point? We need a tower falling. Okay, so that's great. What opportunities exist for healing and growth as a nation? Let me just make sure that, okay, the sound is working. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Opportunities for healing. Yeah. Let's put this down here. I'm going to put it up here. Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands. Judgment. Let me get one more. Move this out the way. Oh, okay, one more came out. Nine of Wands. Nice. What opportunities exist for healing and growth as a nation? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is really about stability and security. It's this slow moving energy. That's why things feel so everything feels slow. Sometimes the energy feels very fast and time goes by very quickly, is what I've noticed. And sometimes the energy feels slow. And when it comes to our healing as a nation, as a collective, it has been very slow to progress. Different blockages, there, but it's still, even in our, we don't recognize it consciously yet, but there's some healing going on in the background. Like, we're being pushed up. We are ascending. We're being pushed towards something. Okay, the tower is here. All right, so it's slow, but it's steady. That's what you want. Okay, with the Knight of Pentacles, it's a focus. It's about expansion. It's about lessons. Okay, how to be grounded, with the Knight of Pentacles. And the King of Wands, this this energy here, King of Wands is about taking inspired action, strategic action. Okay, it's about willfulness, much like the Queen of Wands. It's about authenticity, willpower, progression, forward movement. And then you have Judgment here. Judgment is spiritual awakening, it's rebirth. Okay, so in terms of healing and growth, absolutely. Judgment is about discernment. It asks you to think about how your past actions is affecting your present and your future. But ultimately, spiritually, it is about an awakening. Nine of Wands, it says the light is there. It recognizes the struggle and the hardships. It's a card of resilience, and it's a card of also a reminder of you're not alone. Okay, you are almost at the end of this struggle, this hardship, this, whatever the universe is, whatever is going on, in your world. But as a nation, what we're going through, the Nine of Wands says keep going. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep taking care of yourself. Don't fall to your knees. Don't be on the floor. If you are on the floor, get up. That sort of thing. Okay, so that's what we want. You know, the tower is there. What dangers or challenges must America be cautious of at this crossroads? So I did pull a hermit, I believe, last time for part 1. If you haven't watched part 1, please go back and watch it so you know what is going on exactly. So let's see. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, 5 of Cups came out. Came right on out. Yeah. Grief, loss, disappointment. 5 of Cups. What will we be losing? Let's see. What will we have grief over? Let's see if I can be shown. Okay, a card flipped out. Let's see what that is. Page of Pentacles. Security, stability. Focus, you know. One more. One more, one more. Yeah, danger of growing, expanding. Hangman is on the bottom. The Fool, yeah. It's about new beginnings. What we are in danger of losing, you know, at this crossroads. As a country, we're supposed to be continuously growing and changing and, you know, idealistically. These are the challenges. What dangers and challenges must America be cautious of at this crossroads? The Fool. Throwing caution to the wind. Taking a leap of faith. But the Fool is really much like, as a danger, you're really not paying attention. You know, you don't really know what people have to maybe perhaps open their eyes a little bit more to see what's actually happening. Okay. Okay. What collective shadow is surfacing in this moment of change? What collective shadow is surfacing in this moment of change? Can you show me? Through all of this darkness, what is, you know, Eight of Cups. One more. Wheel of Fortune's on the bottom. Yeah. Three of Swords. Eight of Cups and Three of Swords. Interesting. You know, it's like Eight of Cups is a card of healing. It's a card where you question, should I stay? Should I go? What should I do exactly? It's a card of walking into something new, walking from something unhealthy or harmful. Okay. But really, as a shadow, it's like confusion of how to, it's confusion of how to address emotional dysfunction, the Eight of Cups, or dissatisfaction. You know, you question like, oh, what should I do? How do we respond to this? Do we get angry? Do we yell? Do we scream? Do we cry? Do we, you know, act indifferent? Do we become apathetic because there's so many blockages or just not good stuff. Three of Swords is disappointment, heartache, heartbreak, despair. So that's the shadow through all of this. Do we just like abandon all hope? You know, do we give in to despair? Do we say, well, democracy's dead here, so, you know, do we do that? That's the shadow that's sort of looming over us through all of this. You know, I get it. It's tough. It's tough. But we can't be desensitized. We can't become numb. We can't stop our lives. Even though that's some of the urges I sense a lot of people have. To just like, to stop this. Like, we can't, you just can't, you know? They want us to do those things. So we have to not give in to those urges, those shadow urges. We can learn from them. We can lean into the despair we may feel and let it, you know, reshape us or our perspective. That's what the Three of Swords encourages you to do. The Eight of Cups encourages you to move forward, no matter what. To deal with your emotions, to deal with your dissatisfaction about things, to walk into something with the faith that it'll be okay, even though you don't really know. Being okay with that. Okay. All right, let's see here. I'm going to pick these up. The Tower, I'm going to leave the Tower there. Okay, that is the main message there. Okay. If America embraces its higher path, what could the future hold? Now, when I read authoritarianism or democracy versus democracy, what will reign supreme? And democracy was the answer. It was the clear winner. Of course, not without a fight. But let's see here. Temperance. If America embraces the higher path, what could the future hold? Temperance. Balance. healing, a tempering of intensity, of energy, of emotions, a more balanced approach, more wisdom, more knowledge, more kindness, more gentleness. Yeah. 9 of Cups. Listen, it's just so obvious, you know? You imagine it. Satisfaction, contentment, success. Actually being able to enjoy our lives instead of living in constant, living in constant anxiety or worry about what is coming next. Being able to slow down the way we really want to. Okay, one more. Ten of Cups. The answers are clear. Balance, harmony, togetherness. You know? If resistance continues, what is the likely outcome? Let's see. If resistance continues, what is the likely outcome? The tower is there. You know, when the tower is there, resistance is futile. Let's see. If resistance continues, Hermit. The Hermit again. The Hermit is the crossroads, right? The Hermit also represents corruption, roguery, dissonance, treason. Okay. We continue to resist. This is what we will get. Separation, you know? We won't continue to resist, by the way. The answer is in the authoritarianism versus democracy reading I did. Go check that out if you haven't. We won't. But if we do, we know what will continue. I'm going to pick these up here. What support is available to America right now? Let's look at spiritual first. I'll pull one card. Okay, 7 of Cups, spiritual. We have options. Okay, 7 of Cups is about choice, opportunities. So spiritually, this is the first, our spiritual support is through the 7 of Cups. Being discerning in our choices. I just want some affirmation, but my computer is not acting the way it should. and helping us with being with things are overwhelming. Things are overwhelming. I've noticed, oh geez, my computer's acting crazy. I've noticed if I've noticed being a therapist, I've noticed people really getting overwhelmed lately with choices when talking about their future, because things feel so uncertain and dangerous now. And so with everything being terrible, I've noticed that people are, not that they're falling into apathy, but there's a significant amount of anxiety about, okay, what do I do with my future? I don't know what to do. And that's what we're being assisted with. With the Seven of Cups, it's, with the Seven of Cups energy, it's really about so many options and having to make the right choices. So spiritually, I think that is how we are being assistant, and understanding that we have to, yes, and the most important thing is we have to be discerning in our choices and nearly everything we do nowadays. We have to think, we have to respond instead of react. We have to immediately deal with the anxiety, how to calm down, our moods, be mindful of that and be aware. How are you incorporating wellness into your life? Okay. It's about finding balance, being realistic, those sort of things. Being realistic, especially, I think, in what our turning point will look like. Let's look at ancestral support. Ten of Swords, ancestral support, very interesting. You see the land, the history of this land here, of this country. Ten of Swords. It's an end to. Ten of Swords it signifies an end to pain. Ten of Swords is about betrayal, painful endings. Okay, and I think our ancestors, at least mine, been through a lot, and so Ten of Swords is ancestral support, is to me a signifier that yes, this is the end. We're moving closer towards the ending, And sometimes with change and endings, it is painful. It's hard. It's difficult. Let's look at global support. The Fool. New beginnings. The Fool. Global support. Perhaps learning what not to do from us. Maybe that's supportive. You know what I think? A lot of countries. Do you see what's happening in the continent of Africa? There's so many countries in Africa that are moving towards, I mean, what's happening with China being there, but that's a whole other conversation, but moving towards stabilizing their, their countries rather, on that continent. There's a lot. Look it up if you're not aware of what's been going on in the continent of Africa. But a lot of countries are, I think, we, as countries, as allies, we depend on each other. But I think what's happening now, certain countries are looking for more ways to, like in Europe, looking for more ways to lean less, which is tough, but to lean less on America in certain aspects. But as support, the Fool, how could the Fool be global support? I'm not sure. What is this saying to me? Let me see. Maybe they're laughing at us, It's about navigating, it's about guidance. Perhaps someone, will step in and do that for us. I don't know. I don't know what that would mean. Let me get a clarifier instead of just twiddling my thumbs. The Chariot. Nope, that's the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's something about guidance. Something about guidance. Global support. Showing us how it's done, perhaps. Interesting. Okay. Let's see how close we are to the turning point. Always do this. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna say in my head, okay. All right. For the year's end. Let's see. I can't shuffle. What the heck is going on here? Show me before the year's end. If this, show me a major card. Let's see if they can. Justice. Guys, I asked, how close are we? And I asked, show me a major card if this is happening, this turning point is happening before the year's end. And Justice came out. Justice, guys. Before the year's end, and Justice. Oh my goodness. Before the year's end, okay? Isn't that balance, equality, fairness, vindication? That is, I love when things come together. I love when what I'm told in my mind immediately goes from my mind, from my arms, to my fingertips, to the cards. Spiritual guidance. Okay, let's see. That was beautiful. Thank you guides. Thank you. Okay, what role do we play? The collective voice in shaping the turning point. I talk about this often. I've been told things often. I've been shown things often. I've been told that it will be the people. It is always the people. Queen of Cups, Page of Pentacles. I might have to shuffle. Oh, Three of Swords. No, that's right. Queen of Pentacles. Wonderful. The Moon always comes up with the collective. A lot of feminine energy in the Moon. Death in reverse. Nope, upright. Okay. Transmuting our pain. The Moon is really, the Moon is about illusion, or not fully seeing, things being in the darkness, but it's also really about our intuition. It's about our subconscious. And it's also about like our emotions. And so death being, death coming after the Moon, to me it's like letting go of certain emotions that don't serve us as a collective. I mean, all emotions serve us in some way. But maybe certain emotions that may be blocking our progression. Okay, because you have the Queen of Pentacles here. This Three of Swords is really letting this pain and disappointment shape us. Getting back to, emotional stability, compassion, being in the flow of things as opposed to running around, focusing so much on everything else. Learning how to really respond to this and shaping our disappointment and despair into something helpful and transformative with death here. But we're close. We are close. We're very close. Okay. What is Spirit's guidance for navigating this pivotal moment? Turn it back. Okay. Two of Wands. Spiritual guidance for navigating. King of Swords. Listen. Page of Cups. Nope, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups comes up often for us. Three of Pentacles. Is that 3 or is that 8? Looks like they're doing work. I think it's 8. Yes, I was right. 8 of Pentacles, yeah. Yes. Stay focused. King of Cups. King of Swords and King of Cups. The Lovers. Let me cover up their nakedness. We are indeed at a crossroads. We have choices. We have 2 choices to make. Last one. Page of Swords. Let me see what this looks like. Okay, we're not too off the deep end here. All right, so spiritual guidance on how we can navigate through this. 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is a plan you implement. It is forward movement and progression. It's action. Okay, and so to me this message is simply saying, I just talked about it. Keep going. Keep planning. Keep hoping. Two of Wands is about balance. King of Swords. Keep talking. Speaking. Keep saying out loud what's wrong. Analyze information correctly. Discard what doesn't, help. Discard what isn't true. Knight of Cups. Be realistic. Okay. But also there's something about the Knight of Cups that, is very dreamy. It's creative, It's about our intuition. Trusting your intuition. It's like the message is like, okay, don't idolize too much or don't be unrealistic. But I think here the message is like, don't lose our innocence, or like don't give up hope. Trust your intuition. Because next here you have the 8 of Pentacles. Is this focused? It's about expansion and growth. We want to continue to grow. We don't want to be stuck. We don't want to be pulled into their dysfunction. We don't want to lose the plot. We want to focus on like our progress. stable, secure, expansion, expanding your knowledge, focusing on what's important, taking care of yourselves, building routine, for yourselves. I'm talking to myself also. King of Cups. It's about our emotions, our intuition, being in the flow, not letting things shake us up or make us emotionally unstable. If you feel like you are in that space, figuring out how you could get back to the level with your emotions and how you respond to the terribleness as we move towards our turning point. The Lovers is about choice. Big life choices. Really asking yourself, what do I want? If, we're in this situation in the present moment, and it's almost like we're waiting for it to end, but at the same time, some of us are not moving forward in our lives. We're on pause, whether you've done it subconsciously or consciously. That's what I've seen, and that's what I sense. We're all holding our breaths, but not moving anywhere. Page of Swords is your intellect. It's how you openly communicate. We have to keep speaking. Speaking the truth, speaking what we know, sharing our knowledge and our intellect. Exploring information the right way, sharing information. Okay, so that is Spirit's guidance to how we navigate. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got. This was part 2. Please like. If you like it, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Listen, I said before the year's in with justice, and the tower is here, guys. Okay, I will see you again very soon. Bye bye.